The moment unfolds in a way that feels almost unreal, as if the entire auditorium is holding its breath at the same exact second. The stage is washed in brilliant blue and gold spotlights, creating a dramatic contrast against the darkened audience. At the center of the stage stands the singer, their posture a mix of nervous energy and raw determination. The microphone trembles slightly in their hand, but the voice coming out of them cuts through the silence with confidence, clarity, and emotion. Every note echoes with a depth that feels beyond their age or experience, filling the room with a power nobody was prepared for. Across the stage, the judges sit behind their glossy desk, but one reaction stands out sharply from the rest: Simon Cowell. Usually known for his calm, sometimes unimpressed demeanor, he suddenly leans forward, almost involuntarily, as if pulled by the sheer force of the performance. His eyes widen, not in simple surprise, but in genuine disbelief. His hand slowly rises to cover his mouth, a gesture rarely seen from him, signaling that something extraordinary is happening in front of him. The other judges glance at one another, their expressions mirroring the shock and excitement in the room. One judge's eyes fill with emotion, while another nods slowly, unable to look away from the stage. The energy of the performance wraps itself around every person in the room, creating a shared moment of awe. Behind the singer, beams of light shift subtly, casting a halo-like glow that makes the performer appear almost larger than life. The audience, though blurred in the background, can be seen frozen, some with hands clasped near their faces, others already standing in anticipation of what feels like a breakthrough moment. The singer continues, building toward a powerful vocal run, and with every second, Simon's expression deepens. It's not just admiration, it's recognition. The recognition of a star being born right before his eyes. His reaction sends a wave of excitement through the audience, heightening the impact of the performance. The entire scene becomes a perfect snapshot of discovery, talent, and the kind of magic that only happens once in a while on a stage like this, when someone unexpected steps forward and changes everything in a single moment. The moment captured in this scene is one of pure intensity, where talent and emotion blend into something unforgettable. The singer stands slightly forward on the X Factor UK stage, gripping the microphone with a steady but passionate hold. As they begin to reach the peak of the song, their voice rises with incredible strength, filling the auditorium in a way that feels almost physical, as if the sound itself is pushing through the air in waves. The spotlight bathes them in a brilliant mix of red and gold, creating a fiery visual that mirrors the power of the note they are about to unleash. Their eyes close, not out of fear but out of complete immersion in the moment, allowing the music to guide everything from their expression to their breathing. When the singer hits the high note, it's not just sung, it's lived. Their face tightens with emotion, veins visible at the neck, the muscles around their jaw and forehead subtly flexing as they push their voice to its limits. The strain is beautiful, controlled, and deliberate. This is the kind of note that separates a good performance from a monumental one. A slight motion blur captures the movement of their raised hand, a gesture that naturally follows the emotional rise of the song. The stage lights burst behind them, forming radiant streaks that spread like wings, making the performer appear almost illuminated from within. Around the stage, the reaction is immediate and explosive. Members of the audience jump to their feet, unable to hold back their excitement. Some raise their hands, others clutch their chest, stunned by the sudden power of the performance. A few can be seen covering their mouths, overwhelmed by the unexpected brilliance unfolding in front of them. The cameras capture these reactions in split-second flashes, further amplifying the gravity of the moment. On the judges' panel, you can see heads turning, eyes widening, and silent nods of approval. One judge leans back with a smile of disbelief, while another instinctively presses their palms together, speechless. The entire auditorium vibrates with energy, as if everyone collectively realizes they are witnessing something exceptionally rare. The note lingers in the air even after it's sung, leaving behind a thrilling silence that proves just how powerful one perfect moment can be. Simon Cowell's reaction in this scene becomes the emotional center of the entire moment, transforming a simple audition into something far more significant. The singer has just finished a particularly powerful section of their performance, and the stage is glowing with sharp blue and gold beams that cut through the atmosphere like rays of possibility. The performer stands confidently, breathing heavily, their chest rising and falling from the strength of their delivery. But all eyes shift toward Simon the moment he begins to move, slowly, deliberately, and with an expression that no one in the room expected. Simon, known for his famously strict, often stone-faced critiques, suddenly leans forward, placing both hands on the table as he locks his gaze onto the contestant. His face softens, yet his eyes sharpen with unmistakable clarity. It's the look he reserves for the very rare performers who rise above the rest, the ones he believes are destined for something bigger. His lips curve into a genuine smile, warm and approving, the kind that immediately signals that something extraordinary has just happened. He lifts one hand and points directly at the singer, a gesture full of conviction, as if marking a moment of discovery. This is not just praise, it's a declaration. Across the desk, the other judges pick up on the shift instantly. One judge turns toward Simon in surprise, eyebrows raised as if silently asking, "Did we just witness the same thing?" Another judge clasps their hands together, nodding enthusiastically in agreement. The energy among the panel feels electric, vibrating with excitement and anticipation. Everyone knows that when Simon reacts like this, it means the performer has crossed an invisible line from being just another contestant to being a potential star. The lighting enhances every detail of the moment. The judge's desk glows with subtle reflections, casting soft highlights across Simon's face. Behind the singer, the stage lights form radiant streaks that almost seem to spotlight Simon's approval as much as the performance itself. The audience, though partially blurred, can be seen leaning forward in their seats, eager to hear what he will say next. This single gesture, the confident point, the rare smile, the unmistakable recognition, becomes the defining moment of the audition. It feels like a cinematic turning point, the exact second a life changes. Simon isn't just giving feedback, he's calling out a future, naming potential, and signaling to the world that the person standing on that stage might just be the next biggest star. The scene opens with a breathtaking display of golden light pouring down from above, giving the entire X Factor stage an almost heavenly glow. The singer stands in the very center, framed by towering beams that create a silhouette both powerful and beautiful. Their body language reveals a mixture of disbelief, gratitude, and overwhelming emotion. One hand rests over their heart, fingers slightly curled as if trying to calm the storm of feelings inside them. Their eyes glisten under the bright spotlights, catching tiny reflections of gold that make the moment appear almost magical. It's the look of someone who has just realized that everything in their life may be about to change. Around them, the audience erupts into wild applause. Some people are on their feet, shouting with excitement, while others capture the moment on their phones, screens glowing like stars in the darkened arena. The cheers rise and fall like waves, surrounding the performer in a wall of sound. There are faces filled with awe, mouths open, hands lifted high, every reaction forming a mosaic of human emotion. Even in the blur of movement and lights, you can sense the audience's collective understanding that they have witnessed something extraordinary. The stage floor shines with crystal-clear reflections, as if mirroring the performer's emotion back at them. Soft golden confetti floats through the air, catching light as it falls, creating a dreamy, slow-motion effect. It feels less like a TV show moment and more like the climax of a movie scene, the moment where the hero steps into their destiny. The judges sit at their panel, each displaying a reaction that deepens the impact of the moment. One judge has risen from their seat, clapping with genuine enthusiasm. Another leans back, eyes wide, clearly impressed by what just happened. But the most striking expression comes from Simon Cowell. Although partially out of focus in the background, his face carries a rare softness. His expression says everything: admiration, respect, and the unmistakable realization that he has just witnessed a future superstar. As the singer takes in the energy of the room, their breath catches. For a few seconds, silence exists only within them, even as the entire auditorium continues to roar. This is not just applause, it is acceptance, validation, and the beginning of a dream finally taking shape.